information, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decipher fiction from the truth, society's slow and tragic demise. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Everyone's got their fucking opinion.
Oh, hell yeah. What's happening? Episode 399 of the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Can you dig it? 399. You know what comes next, right? 400. Hope everybody's well around the world. What's happening in Vienna, Dan? John in the UK? Good. Pete in the UK? Robert in Scotland? What's up, John Bello? Good to see everybody on this Wednesday afternoon. And thank you so much for tuning in. Let's roll. Let's roll. Yay. What's up, Thorsten? Hello, hello, hello. We're back. How about today we talk about music? The tie that binds us together. Speaking of music and the tie that binds us together, ladies and gentlemen, from the Cape, Lori Dawn.
Hello, hello.
What's
On
happening?
this unnaturally warm, sunny day.
Do you go in the water out there at the Cape?
No. Too many sharks. Yeah, we have a lot of seals, and they're like little shark potato chips. And the tourists are like, every couple of years, you got a tourist. Oh, I want to take a picture with the seals. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
And sharks are dumb as fuck. Everybody knows that. They're just like, is that a seal or is that a human? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'll whatever. It's delicious either way.
I'm gonna bite it either way.
I'm gonna bite it.
Fuck it. Shark, human, I don't know. I mean, seal, human, fuck it. I'm gonna bite it.
Here's a little tip. You see the seals? Don't go in the water. Get out of the water.
How's this? I go one step further.
Just don't go in the water.
Why the fuck would I want to go in the water? I live on land. What the fuck am I doing in the water?
Stay out of the water.
I'm like a land motherfucker.
Ridiculous.
I live on the land, yo.
Right.
I live in this, yo. I live in a pre-war. The building I live in is like it's like the Führer's bunker here. Like there could be a nuclear holocaust, and I wouldn't even know. Oh, there's something going on outside. Like going in the water.
No, nothing good is happening in the water.
Or in the subway in New York, I tell you that.
That's right. The subway or the water. Just stay out of both.
Did you see
chain going on? No. Yep. No, thank you.
Did you see GBH? Oh, did we see GBH?
Yes, tell us all about San Francisco.
Yo, San Francisco was.
Yeah, we want to hear about it.
Here you go. Did we see GBH? Yeah. There's me.
Oh, wow.
There's me.
That's awesome. Yeah.
There's me and Colin from GBH.
Mm.
Yeah. But San Francisco was fantastic. Crash Fest was amazing. They treated us incredibly well. And a bunch of our friends showed up, including big friend and supporter of the show, Chris Contos.
Oh, nice.
From Forbidden and Machine Head. Yep. There he is on the left.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And on the right, from Fang.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I drawing a blank? It'll come to me. Sorry. I'm still frazzled. Yeah. I'm still frazzled. I'm shot. And then the guy next to him, I think, is some guy is in my band. I'm not sure.
He looks vaguely familiar. Vaguely. Vaguely
I think that's the
familiar.
guy in my bed. Is that right?
Did you get out at all? Did you get to see any sightseeing or anything? Or what did you guys get up to?
We went out. We did it up. We did a couple of corny things, including we went down to Haight Ashbury. We did the Haight. There we are on Haight Ash. You know.
Yep.
And we went to like Amoeba Records and what else did we do? We went to the Janis Joplin tree.
Oh, nice.
In Golden Gate Park.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. There you go. The Janis Joplin tree.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure why this is the Janis Joplin tree. Tristan was telling me about it. Like, I didn't know there was a Janis Joplin tree. I'm not sure what the fuck this tree has to do with Janis Joplin, but he's like, yo, the Janis Joplin
tree. So there you go.
Janis Joplin tree is right down there, you know? So
was there a plaque?
No, there was not. He goes, usually there's like empty bottles of Southern Comfort or this or that or da-da-da-da. And there was like nothing.
So now we're going to have to do our research and find out why.
Apparently he said like she climbed up in the tree and there's pictures of her in the tree or something.
Okay.
Something.
Yeah.
But we also went here. Does anybody know what this is? Anybody? Does anybody know what famous San Francisco landmark this is? We'll see if anybody knows. We'll see. Let's see what comes up.
Somebody.
I know. Well, somebody.
I know.
Well, post it, somebody, if you know. You know. Knuckleheads. Let's see. I guess nobody knows.
Did you ride any trolleys, or that's what I think?
Dirty Harry scene. No, but kind of cool though. Good guess. Good guess. You know, that's right. That's right, Aaron. It's the Grateful Dead house where the 710 Ashbury Street where the Grateful Dead lived. Yep. The Grateful Dead house. Welcome to the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, where we talk about the Grateful Dead. So,
absolutely. Music is music.
Right. Let me see what else I got. Couple other things. I got a good story, though. Here's drummer Mike took this. This is the GBH set list. Here's the GBH set list. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yep. GBH bangs it out, man.
Yeah, that's great.
So I'll tell you a quick funny story. When we get to the gig, we were told that the day of the show, the DNA Lounge where the fest was is in this. I don't know if it's an industrial part of San Francisco, but it's like warehouses kind of. It's not. And we were told there's a street fair going on. The street in front of the place is going to be closed. So we went down there. We got as far as we could. We parked our vehicle and we carried the guitars and we walked through this street fair. And like, we were like, holy shit. Like it was a San Francisco bear parade, a bear street fest. And it was all dudes dressed like this. It was going off.
Yeah.
And we walked through. We were like,
it's amazing.
We were like, what the
We
fuck?
should all have the confidence of that man.
Yo, there was hundreds of, listen, God bless. You know what I mean? God bless. Wave your flag. Wave it wide and high, man. San Francisco don't give a flying fuzuck. They're out there. Exactly setting it off. These dudes were, you think Madball's setting it off? Tell you something. The Bears in San Francisco. There was like a band playing on a bandstand. It was like they were all bared out. It was wild, man.
Rich. That's a San Francisco treat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, they have you know, on Cape Cod up in P-Town, they also have a Bear Week and a parade, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, man. What do I know? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
But when you walk into the middle of it, it's a little bit, shocking.
well, we were just like, oh, there's a street fair. We thought it was like, oh,
Oh,
street
fun little
fair. Bunch of little,
carnival.
there'll be kids and rides. And we walk in and we're
Cotton
like,
candy.
whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys leading other guys around like on a leash.
A lot of big hairy butts.
God
There you
bless.
go.
But good for them. Have a day.
Yep.
I'll tell you another funny story. So we play and we go back to the hotel really late. And drummer Mike's with us. And drummer Mike's so amped up. He goes, I see him the next morning. He goes, dude. He goes, man, I go outside at 3 a.m. to smoke a joint. And you know who else is out there? Colin from GBH smoking a joint. And me and Colin at 3 a.m. are hanging out. He's like, dude, I love being in this band. I love what we do. That alone made the whole trip just.
That's awesome.
Drummer Mike was
At
like,
a moment.
He's like, 3 a.m. I go out. I couldn't sleep. I went out to smoke a joint. And Colin walks out to smoke a joint. And we're hanging at 3 a.m.
Yeah. It's a bonding moment. That's really cool.
And I got to say.
Mike is so sweet.
And
He's got his heroes.
Yep. And I told Colin this too. I said, you are one of the most patient and gracious men I've ever met in this business. The guy has time for everyone. We saw him at the venue.
Because he's like smoking all that weed. You would have a lot of patience too.
I'd have less patience. I'd be like, get the fuck away from me. I would have less patience. I'd be like, yo.
It mellows you out.
Not me. I'd be like, yo, get out of here. But I saw him getting, Punishers like dudes are mad Punishers are like pummeling him at the venue, and he just sits there and just la 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 la.
Just takes it, yeah.
Yo, you know what I mean? That's why some bands and some people like, they want to be sequestered away from the audience and crowd, man. It's when you have like Punishers like latch like Alien, like I can't get it off. It's like. People
Absolutely.
just like, I saw you, 13 years ago, and it's like, yo, bro, I'm trying to do a show. Like, this dude's just rolling with it. Man.
Yeah, just because it's a musician doesn't mean that they're good in social situations. Like a lot of people have social anxiety, and they get these like reputations, like, oh, he's an asshole, he's not friendly, he's not this. He's just probably having a panic attack.
Well, I'll tell you, Colin's the most, Hey, let's talk about this. What's going on with this?
So I don't know if people are aware. We've been talking about it a little bit. DJ Cindy Halfrats does this really great show on Sojourn Radio, which is an internet radio, internet-based. You can listen to it wherever from your phone. And she does a really great show on Wednesdays, 12 and 7 o'clock. Where she's doing all new music, all recent new music from new bands or bands that have new releases within, I think it's the last 6 months or a year. So it's a really good way to discover your new favorite music. So the radio programming is great. I usually have it on when I'm working during the day. They have a lot of really good DJs, but Cindy does a show, and this is where I find a lot of the bands that I eventually go on to highlight on Women of the Pit. So this week, and this is going to be again at 7 o'clock tonight, so you can all have a listen. This week, the 3 bands that kind of stuck out for me was, one was a band called Skirt from Germany, new bands, kind of melodic, yet hard and screamy. I really liked it. They just put their first demo out. You can listen to it on Spotify.
Right on.
There's another band that right from New Jersey that I wasn't aware of, Skirt Hole. Okay, so Shirt Hole.
So there's Skirt and there's Shirt Hole.
And Shirt Hole. Yeah,
Boy.
so there was a little clothing theme
God,
here.
Lord knows band
But-
names are getting hard to come by.
Yeah, so Shirt Hole, they're a trio, and they've got a really fun old school vibe, punk sound to them. I really, really like them. Really dug them.
Cool.
And then a band called Plastic Meat. Plastic Meat from Madrid. They have an EP out on Bandcamp,
I can't.
and I know with the
Plastic
new.
meat.
Listen, they got to come up with new band names. Plastic Meat.
Okay.
Okay. From Madrid, worth a listen. Those 3 bands, worth a listen. The whole show is worth a listen. And yeah, put it on 7:00 tonight.
And the punk rock marketplace is coming up pretty fast too,
Punk
right?
rock marketplace is out. I have my kiln cooling off right now. All my pieces are in my kiln. Can't wait to take it out. And yeah, so this is going to be November 1st and 2nd. I'll be vending here with my ceramics. There'll be 50 vendors, so you can get your holiday shopping started, or you could treat yourself to something weird at the punk rock market. We're also going to have
in Seekonk.
In beautiful Seekonk, Massachusetts, which is right outside of Providence, Rhode Island. So for a landmark there.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there'll be some acoustic punk sets one from Lenny Lashley. There'll also be punk karaoke. So for a small fee, you can get up there and sing a song.
Punk rock karaoke.
There you go. And then this is going to be going on 2 weeks later in Beverly, Massachusetts, the Art Market, in conjunction with the Beverly Art Crawl.
And did you notice our sponsor, She Devil's Coven, is involved in this?
Yes. So I'm excited about that. She's going to be out there with her candles. So I can't wait to buy some finally.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're also going to have art from Chris, Robots Will Kill.
Yep.
Mike Gallo. And I just found out that Dave Tree is going to be joining us as well. So
I heard that Dave Tree got the memo that he cannot smoke the marijuana substances, which he does 24/7, which he does so much. That in fact is not acceptable.
Yes.
Down at the art market. So.
Yes, Bridge 9 is a straight edge establishment. And so, yes, you can drink, but it will have to be a soft drink.
Yeah. As opposed to a hard drink.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But that's going to be a really fun day out. So
Seekonk is near my house. Oh, by the way, anybody out there, yo, we're going to the Chiller Theater convention on Saturday. If anybody's out in Jersey or if anybody's going, lots of our friends are going to be out there. I'm going out with Alago and Astoria Lou, and we're going to do the rounds. Alan Robert from Life of Agony has a table with his drawing, his coloring book stuff, and a lot of people we know are going to be out. I'm just saying. I'll be out at Chiller on Saturday. And of course, Sunday is the big banger here. It is the 400th show.
Wow.
With our guest, our pal, Brian Baker.
That's going to be a good one. Incredible.
Yeah.
400.
There you go. No, there he is. Astoria Lou. Yo, Saturday. Be in front of my place at 11, brah.
I miss those horror conventions. I like those. What is it, like a convention, like a horror convention?
Yeah, it's like it's like a convention, and old movie people have tables, and you just kind of wander around and go, oh shit, there's fucking, Eric Roberts. Eric, boy, he looks like shit.
Yeah, there used to be a big one up here in Worcester.
Yeah.
And they would have bands play afterwards. So I think the last one that they had was a couple of years ago, and Sick of It All played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
400 shows. That's right. Woo! Woo!
Oh.
Woo! Yep. 400 shows. Still at it. Feel like every time what?
If we don't get canceled today for showing nudity.
Send your bear photos through. We have a new calling.
That's
It's
right.
the New York Hardcore Chronicles.
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Let's get our guest on.
Sounds good.
I'll see you in a bit.
Have a good show.
Okay. This is it. You asked for it. You got it. The New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Sponsored by DTFM Vinyl Distro, Generation Records, 126 Hardcore Clothing, Women of the Pitch, She Devils Coven, and believe it or not, friends, the Texas Silver Rush. They're a jewelry design firm and boutique store located in the birthplace of the Texas country music scene in Fredericksburg, Texas. Goddamn electric. They specialize in working with musicians in all music genres to design and create unique one-off pieces, as well as to style them for stage, album covers, promo photos, and social media exposure. Their client list includes Rock and Roll Hall of Famers Greg Rowley, Ringo Starr, and of course, Agnostic Front. Information and online sales are being taken at their Facebook and Instagram pages, and of course, www.thetexassilverrush.com. That said, let's clear the deck. Let's bring our guest on. Let's make sure nobody's killing each other in the chat room. Thanks, Sean Brennan, my dude. That's right. Brian Baker's doing a book event at Rough Trade. Yep. Here we go. Get my intro going here. Today's guest is an American drummer hailing from the Constitution State of Connecticut. He's primarily known for his work with the band The Rousers, who made their reputation for rhythm and twang at Max's Kansas City, CBGB, and remain beloved to this day. Here today to talk to us about The Rousers' 1979 The Sire Session, which has recently seen the light of day, and much more, please welcome, coming at us from Westport, Connecticut, Mr. Jerid O'Connell. Hey, man.
Hey, Drew. So good to spend this beautiful fall day with you, my friend.
Yeah. It looks nice out there in Connecticut, huh?
It's always nice in Connecticut. It's Connecticut.
It's Connecticut. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why we're up here. You know?
That's right, buddy. That's right, man.
Good. Exciting stuff. And I do, before we get into it, I do want to say that, and shout out Left for Dead Records, who this showed up here last night it was delivered. The package is beautiful. It is the Rousers 1979 Sire Session, and we're going to talk much about it, but big shout out to Left for Dead Records. So
Nice shout out there, my friend. Nice intro too. I appreciate the intro.
Sure. It's what we do. So let's talk about, how did you come up? Did you grow up in a musical household? How did music come into your life?
Well, always loved rock and roll like we all did. Born in 56, basically when rock and roll started. Just some of the Rousers, we had high school bands, and just played all the time. And then
Did you grow up as a young person, did you grow up in Connecticut?
Yeah, Weston, Connecticut. That's where 4 out of the 5 Rousers hail from, which is also now the home of Keith Richards and my dad.
Right.
Who was just given an award by our governor as a model citizen and represents Connecticut as what you should grow up to be. Like, he got an award by being one of the best. So that's why I love my state.
Yeah.
Keith Richards.
You got to love the state where Keith Richards is given the award for a model citizen.
Model citizen. Yeah. And believe me, there's many great stories. I have none. But
what music though? As a kid growing up in Connecticut, what was the first music that really spoke to you?
Well, Tommy and I, the guitarists, probably started playing when we were 10, and just loved Alice Cooper, all the obviously the Rolling Stones,
sure,
who are been around since whatever. But the real turning point when the light went off, we're always playing. That's all we talked about was rock and roll. We always going down to the record store looking. But then we went down, this is 1973 and everyone's listening to Dark Side of the Moon, which not to insult some of your people, but it's not my taste. And you look at that.
Not to insult one of probably one of the largest selling albums of all time.
40 million. Yeah, it sold 40 million. So 40 million has that cover that looks like Scientific America. Everyone goes, oh man, that's such a great cover.
Yeah.
Right at the same time, there was another band who did not sell 40 million. It sold 100,000. It was voted the best band of the year and the worst band of the year, new band in Cream Magazine. That is the almighty New York Dolls.
There you go.
So we look at that cover and we're like, what the hell? This is it. You know, because, we love the MC5. Who doesn't love the MC5, right?
Right.
Of course, you love Iggy. Alice Cooper is way underrated. He lived up in Greenwich, and Johnny Winter lived in Westport, and we're into everything. But the Dolls, that you got to see the cover. I mean, they're like dressed in drag, and
But that's not them in drag, but that's
them on.
Yeah,
that's at the Gem Spot. That's right down the street from the Rouser Clubhouse. That's 8th Street. So we go and they play Bridgeport, Connecticut, where some of your people might not know to this day. Be careful when you go to Bridgeport.
We know Bridgeport. We got Connecticut. Bridgeport, of course. Weston's a little bit of something we might not have heard of.
Weston's just the back part of Westport, basically. It's
right.
They used to share the same school system, but we go on a Tuesday night or something to see the New York Dolls. We sit on the floor of some hotel ballroom, and those boys come out. And they come out and they change the world. To this day, like all the Rousers, we have like this connection. It's from that night,
Right.
I mean, I saw the Beatles on Ed Sullivan, and that was pretty friggin' amazing, like how they just like blew it away. The first time I saw that, I was taken against my will to see the first show of The Clash at the Palladium.
Oh, wow.
It was like the most amazing night. But I saw the Doors in Bridgeport. I saw Cream at Staples High School. I've seen some good shows.
Come on now.
But yeah. At Staples High School they had Sly and the Family Stone there.
A high school?
High school. These two kids, there's a great book called The Original High School, Rock and Roll High School. These two kids started booking bands because they wanted to have a free party at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So it was incredible. So I saw Ginger Baker. I saw Cream at Staples High School, and they had Sly and the Family Stone. They had the Doors, as those Doors in Bridgeport. But to round it all back, those were all great shows. Yeah, the Doors were pretty friggin' good. That's a good band. Mm-hmm. Cream, seeing my boy Ginger Baker play in a high school. I saw Chuck Berry there too. He's not bad, Little Richard. But the Dolls were something else. And if you look at the videos today, I don't know if the magic is still there, but it changed my life. So there was rock and roll, it's like, when they talk about BC, before Christ, it's kind of like, before Dolls, like we just became obsessed with the Dolls, and we started a band called the Cannibals. We had bands called, what are they called? Step and Fetch It in high school, right. Billy Universe and Satellites. And we were always playing, but the Dolls changed us musically, emotionally. That was it.
I assume that once you kind of saw them, you started making excursions into the city to sort of see the Dolls and their peers. What was that like?
Yeah, the mainstream didn't cover the stuff. It was rock scene and stuff. And they'd say, the Dolls best friends in Miami. So we'd sneak in. We're in high school. It's only 1 hour away to New York City, as you know. Mm-hmm. And we'd go, on Tuesday school night, we'd all sneak out. Not tell our parents where we're going. We go to Club 82, which was a lesbian bar with a woman named Butch that ran it. And these little skinny kids in the back would be like, they're just looking at us and all talking to us, And we're like, yeah. And the Dolls would play, and they'd come out on that bar and they'd friggin' nail it. And they were so good. Mm. And, so when it was time to go to college, of course, the only college we could get into would be art school. So it was School of Visual Arts, because that's where the Dolls were. And we started seeing bands all the time. We go, Broadway Charlie's was the Miami's every Sunday. And it's basically the class of 75, which was the beginning of it, which was, it was Blondie, Talking Heads were there, Ramones. It was just beginning. There was only like a dozen bands, Harlots of 42nd Street, Patti Smith had already been signed. Kiss was on the up and coming. They're kind of coming out of it then.
Did you see Kiss early on?
I worked for Finn Costello, who did Kiss Alive. So I hung out with them when they had no money. We'd drive them home. They came to Weston. Peter Criss came. We rented an MG and did a Stars in the Cars. And the next door neighbor, who's the garbage man, saw Peter Criss, came over and said, "What the hell are you, boy?" Right. Another time, they had no money. I was in on a meeting where they were getting their first cars. Their manager had money, and they were getting 240.
Were they managed by Bill Aucoin back then?
Yeah. Bill Aucoin. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They were the nice. First of all of them were the nicest, because I was the only person allowed backstage everywhere because no one could see them without their makeup. And I'd see them like dressed. I've seen people say, "Do you see them without their makeup?" And like, yeah, I saw a lot more than that, dude. And they were so nice to me because we just talked about how much we love the Dolls. And Peter Criss said to me, he's like, "You know who my best man was?" I go,
Yeah.
"No, Jerry Nolan of the Dolls." I was like, "You got to be kidding." And we just sit talking about that. And, you know, it was right before, because Kiss Alive, which Finn Costello photographed, was when they got the money. You know, that's when they took off. We went to brunch at Ashley's on Fifth Avenue, and they come walking in as Kiss, and no one knew what they were, and it was insane.
Here you go. Talk about Jerry Nolan. Here's Jerry Nolan and Peter Criss. They grew up together.
They grew up together, yeah.
They grew up together. So that's Peter Criss on the left, who later of Kiss fame, and Jerry Nolan later of Dolls fame.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yes, I saw them. Yeah, they took us to the show, and you know we're there hanging out backstage and talking, and they go out and they were really good. Of course, my Rouser buddies, we all lived on 23rd Street or something, and I come back with all the records. They gave me all the records. Here, listen to this, and they're like, "You are not playing that shit. You're not playing that in this apartment." Yeah. But they were so nice to me. You know, they were such good people. You know, but.
One last one from the archive. Peter Criss, Gene Krupa, drumming legend. Gene Krupa, and
all three of them.
Yeah, and Jerry Nolan.
Dude, how did you pull that up so quick? How did you do that?
Because I believe me, there's a 400. Hey, that's 400 shows coming up, man. I've gotten good at this whole racket, man. I know.
I'm $3.99. I'm proud. I am so proud. Thank you.
$3.99. So
the hardcore community. I'm so happy. But that's where we came in, and then we were watching. Of course, we're supposed to be at School of Visual Arts, and we were going down to CVs and Max's, and there's a bunch of other clubs, you know, in '75. And then those bands put out their records, and Ramones were '76, Talking Heads '77, and even though those records didn't sell, the whole scene exploded because everyone knew from Rock Scene and all the magazines that there was something going on, and there was nothing going on. And every night you go out every single night. There was nothing to do. There was nothing on TV. You know, you're not going to sit home and watch Little House on the Prairie when you can go down to CB's and watch the Runaways play from LA. You know, you're not going to do that. So we put the band together. We played audition night in 1977 at CBGB's.
Okay, before you get a little ahead of yourself, how did it come together? How did the Rousers come together, and where did the name come from?
The Rousers is from Rebel Rousers by Dwayne Eddy. We worship Dwayne Eddy, his twangy guitar. Mm-hmm. He played a cover of us playing it extremely fast there in the beginning, about twice as fast as Dwayne ever played it. But so we love Dwayne. We'd been playing nonstop in high school and always playing. We just never stopped playing. Right. Where in New York, it was very tough to find a place to play. I think, if I remember correctly, and Tommy will always correct me for every fact that I misplace, Tommy from the Rousers. Mm-hmm. I thought we were going to do a show for School of Visual Arts, and Jeff, the lead singer, he was going to be our lead singer. Mm-hmm. And then we decided to try CBGB's. And did all the Rousers move from Connecticut down to the city at once? I mean, I know you went to School of Visual Arts, but there's 4 guys in the band, right? Yeah, Billy Dixon, who writes all songs, and I shared an apartment. So we went to School of Visual Arts, but on the weekends, I think it was, we'd go back where Johnny Hanna and Tommy, I think they both lived together in Wilton. Then we had a band called the Cannibals. Mm-hmm. So we were kind of doing that. Johnny had just inherited money, so he bought me a set of drums. Right. And we started playing as the Cannibals. Do you remember where did you rehearse in New York, in Manhattan? Was it? Well, that was the trickiest thing, is where do you practice? You know, it was very easy to find an apartment for $200, right? But no one wanted to have a rock band. So for the first year or so, everyone was in the 30s. There was all the bands were hanging out there. But then the music building came. You talk about the 30s, like, what was that, 251 West 30th Street, whatever it was, where there's like six rehearsal recording studios, like Ultrasound, Giant. They were all in, they're all there. That was awesome. That was an awesome scene in that building. But it was better when the music building opened on 8th Avenue. Well, because you could lock out a room, right? You could rent a room with another band, right? Well, the music building, which is still there today, you can
That's
still go
fine.
up there and rent. They actually, I mean, the great thing, everything is on Facebook. You know, everyone says for old guys, it's for old
Yeah.
bands too. But the
Yeah.
music building, I just saw they saying, hey, listen, Madonna's old studio is available. But there's 69 studios in the music building.
Wow.
So we shared it with the Senders, as you know, the Breakfast Club, which was Madonna's band, was right next to us.
Right.
Billy Idol came in 1980. Lenny Kaye of the Patti Smith Group had Lenny Kaye connection a few stories down. We go down and play country western with them. But every band ended up in the music building, and we'd share it, and it cost very, very little. So that was the solution. It still is a solution in New York, where you could actually find a place to turn up the amps. Because we used to practice on 4 St. Mark's Place, and the downstairs neighbor would smash flower pots against the door and scream at the top of his lungs. And I mean, can you blame him?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
but it was good.
You mentioned that the first Rousers show was a CBGB audition. Could you explain to us, like, what was a CBGB's audition?
I think it was Tuesday night or something. Basically you call up, you know, and you just get a slot. And we figured that would be about it. You go on. And the great thing about 77, everybody was coming to town, you know, the B-52s, the Runaways, you know, Dead Boys, of course, the Dead Boys, you know, the Cramps were showing up. Everyone was showing up in town. So the scene, everyone talks about CBGBs with 75 with Blondie and everybody, but 77 was unlimited rock and roll. It was like friggin' Woodstock every friggin' night going down there, you know. It's like so good. But yeah, so you play it, but Peter Crowley, who booked Max's Kansas City, he used to go down there and watch the bands, because I don't think anyone at CBGB's even knows we went on. They were, they were a little bit, they were, they're kind of like their bathrooms, a little unorganized.
Yeah.
And Peter comes up and he's so supportive and he's so sweet and saying, you're going to play Max's. And from that moment on, all of a sudden we were a band. Yeah, there's Max's. There's the kids hanging outside.
Yeah. Now, like, it seems to me in a lot of ways, is it fair to say like the Rousers was a Max's band? Yeah,
that's an interesting thing, because I know, in your movie with Michael,
yeah,
he talks about you could either be a Max's band or a CB's band.
And that's my notes. I was going to ask you about that. Is it true? If you were a Max's band, could you play CB's and vice versa?
Yeah, he said that, and I knew exactly what he meant, but it wasn't 100% true, because we played Max's with the Dead Boys, which is there's no more CB's band than Dead Boys. We played Max's regularly. Mm-hmm. The last time the Rousers played CBGB's was like 2 months before it closed. They kept playing, decades after me. But yeah, there was a certain thing. There was Max's and CBGB's bands, and the great thing about Max's is Peter Crowley had such a taste for music, so he saw the Cramps play CB's. And of course, they couldn't play at all, but he could see that they were a great band. So he'd get them shows. He was always looking and finding. CB's was sort of laid back, it's like they knew they knew they were CBGBs, whatever that meant.
Yeah.
And but Max's they worked really hard to find bands, so that's where like the B-52s, when they came from Georgia, they got the 3-night shows at Max's and stuff. And you could go.
You sent me that flyer, and I was.
What did I send you, man?
You sent me a B-52s flyer from Max's, and I was.
Yeah.
Oh, here you sent me it from 1978, and I was just wondering what. Now I know, like, what was the context? Is this just? Did you send it to say, hey, look what else was going on there while we were playing there?
Yeah, just send you his stuff. That's the night. They did silk screens, and I was, Peter from Max's said there's a great band coming from Georgia, and that was one of the best shows I ever saw. And that's right up there with the Heartbreakers and everybody, and the Ramones and everybody else. They come up, and I'm with Peter Zarumba of the Flesh Tones, and we're sitting there. Let's see this band from Georgia. There's no bands from Georgia at this time. There's no REM. There's no nothing.
Athens, Georgia, no less, right?
Yeah, you're like, what is this going to be? But that's the great thing is, you never stayed home one night. You went out every night. You practiced every day. I had a job, which was a very rare thing with that crowd, but you went out and you just saw incredible music. But they were also competition. Like when they came out, they were the full-blown B-52s. they were just like the best of the best. Rock Lobster and the walkie-talkies and the hair.
And the hair and the whole thing, yeah.
They were completely done. And within like 2 weeks, they're signed to Warner Brothers. I'm like, what the hell was that? And Peter from the Flesh Tones, I remember him turning to me going like, I feel sick. I feel terrible. I go, what's wrong, Pete? He says, oh man, they're so much better than us. And that's the thing is in those days, there's only so many slots every day, you know? Yeah. And you had to compete with, you know, what are you going to do? It's like every band is like, everyone knows it was the Dead Boys and all the other bands. But there was, I mean, the Dead Boys were still playing the clubs. The Dolls 77 when they played Max's.
Yeah.
These bands, you don't realize how small, even though these bands were famous. I mean, Dolls played, you know, and everybody did. So you had to really fight your way through the thicket of every band from America coming in here. And the Rousers, you know, we fought our way, man. We ended up on the menu next to Blondie and the Ramones. We had a Rouser drink there. It was great.
Yeah. Hold on, I got that. Let me see what was the Rouser drink on the Max's menu. Let's see. It's a melon delight. Is that an appetite? Is it a drink? Oh, it's a drink. It's an alcoholic drink.
It's an alcoholic drink. There you go.
Wow, look at that.
Rousers.
Heartbreakers, Blondie, Cherry Vanilla, The Senders, The Fast, Ramones, Suicide, Wayne County Punch. That's funny.
I drank a lot of Wayne County Punch. That was
The
actually
Blessed,
good.
which is Howie Pyro, and Rousers.
Yeah, Howie Pyro. Yeah, we were there, man. So we fought our way onto the menu. That's a battle, man. It's a battle to try to, you know, stay on top there, and you know, we did it for quite a while.
That's
you know,
cool.
But
and
the great thing is, even when you weren't on top, you were like the night with the B-52s. You know, you just go and every night. I mean, obviously the Ramones. We saw the Ramones 1,000 times, and every time
who was, you know what? Other than say who was really great, any unsung heroes from that era, like anybody you saw and you were like, they are so great, and like, but for whatever the reason, they sort of faded. They didn't have. Was there anybody you just like?
Yeah, there was a ton. My favorite band was the Miamis.
The Miamis.
Yeah, the Miamis. Tommy and Jimmy Winbrandt.
Wow, I am not that familiar with the Miamis.
We found out about them in Rock Scene magazine saying best friend of the Dolls. So we went to see them. Blondie opened for them every time. This is before CB's hit. We're talking like 74.
Right.
And Blondie they were their best friends, and Blondie opened every time for them. So it'd be like literally 25 people, and the Miamis were so good. I love the Miamis. I still do. The Rousers just call me fanboy because I love them so much. You know, fucking Rousers. But you know, I'll do a plug for the Senders. The Senders on Left 4 Dead Records. Oh, the Senders were one of the greatest bands. That's how this record came about, is that I saw a Senders record out on Left 4 Dead Records, this beautiful splatter disc. Yeah. But the Senders were incredible.
Well, here you go. Here's a Max's strip from that era. And
with the Trogs, man, the Blessed, the Contortion.
Yeah.
Look at that. The Heartbreak. Oh, there's a Rousers. Oh, we got Top Billing. What night of the week was that? Not so good. Thursday, not bad. But the Heartbreakers, man, you're going to see Johnny friggin' Thunders. If you don't love Thunders, I don't know. You don't have it, man.
The Stimulators, the Senders, the Contortions.
Oh,
the
do you ever see the Contortions? James Chance.
I saw James Chance later. I didn't see him real early on.
He was crazy. He was crazy. He was crazy
wild,
good too.
Right?
Sax maniac. He was a sax maniac.
Yeah.
Hey, the Trogs were there, man. Just sitting in the upstairs. Reg Presley.
Wow. RS70S was Max's near CBGB's.
Max's was on Park Avenue South between 17th and 18th.
It's like it's a vitamin store now or something, you know?
Yeah, I think you can get something there. There's some pictures in the window or something that says that was historic. To get to CB's was down on the Bowery.
Yeah. It's almost you could say it's walking distance, but it's a bit of a hike.
It's a hike. And it was also New York was very dangerous back then.
Yeah.
And
right.
Especially when we got down there. Like, people don't realize what danger, you know, you say, oh, there's crime everywhere. Dude, there was crime everywhere. I mean, You know, my apartment with bars on the windows got robbed 3 times. And I was on 28
with bars on the windows.
bars. Yeah. So everyone says, how come we don't have pictures of all the bands? You know, because they stole my camera. They stole all my cameras. They stole my stereo. I didn't have a stereo. They stole everything. The third time I come in, it's like, I felt so happy because they had to break into my apartment. There was nothing left. It's like,
Right.
I got mugged on 42nd Street at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, you had to watch, you know, with my little brother, some guy started kicking for 25 cents. I didn't have 25 cents. He started beating the crap out of me, which would have been totally cool, except I was in front of my little brother.
Wow.
And a whole circle of people gathered around to watch because that's 42nd Street and that was entertainment. And this little like 5-foot black woman comes out, grabs my attacker around the waist, says, leaves that knife boy alone. So
it was a lawless time. Dan Neese says I got mugged in front of the Plaza Hotel in 79. Ryan Bland
That's right.
says, yeah.
In front of the Plaza Hotel, he got mugged. That's insane. It was scary, but it was also great. And it was so inexpensive. For St. Mark's Place over Trash and Vaudeville was a Rouser Clubhouse, $200 for the full top floor.
Yeah.
So
Ryan Bland says Max's was a deli that recently closed. Yeah.
Oh,
There's
sorry.
nothing-
We're gonna miss that. We're gonna miss that deli. Oh,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? But yeah,
Here's another little Max's thing.
do you got,
Max's presents New York Rock.
oh yes, that's Pete Crowley. He would just put these rock shows together. I don't think we weren't on this thing. I don't remember.
You know who's on this thing? You know who's on this thing that reminded me when listening to the Rousers this week? The Bloodless Pharaohs are on this thing. And of course, that was Brian Setzer before the Stray Cats. And hearing the Rousers, I sort of feel like there's a little bit of a connection there.
There is. People say we look like the Stray Cats. But they were the Bloodless Pharaohs. They didn't look like that. We played with them in the Hot Club. The only time we played with them was at the Hot Club in Philly, and we played with the Bloodless Pharaohs. But you know, they went for they got the hair right for sure. Then they went for like the stand-up bass. They were going much more traditional because people used to call us, you know, rockabilly and Teddy Boys and everything.
Yeah, I could see that, man. You guys definitely got, you know.
Yeah.
If you showed me this photo and said to me, "What year is this?" I'd probably go, I don't know, 59 in the UK and Brighton. No, it would be like Brighton Beach, 1959.
But you realize when we started in 1977, that's the year Elvis died. Rock and roll was only 20 years old. You and I both feel like rock and roll always existed, but we're aping a time that was only like, if you're aping like you're dressing like Britney Spears now. Like we love that look. And they got it right. We always wanted to be produced by Dave Edmunds. They went over and they got produced by Dave Edmunds, and they put out their record in 81.
Sure.
And of course they just killed. And they're still, I see they're playing down the street of Bridgeport at the big arena. I'm like, holy shit. You know, I've seen them play. They're great. They're Straight Cats are great, but you know, there you go.
So this is the Rousers, almost sort of, I don't know if this is before or after, but it looked like the Warriors. This looks like something out of the Warriors in Coney Island. You know,
that's what it is. Yeah, that's Coney Island. I don't know. I don't even know what year that was, but that's one of the many shots. Yeah, we were.
Yeah, that. Also, I'm looking. I know this kind of came a little bit. Well, I guess this is Party Boy came at really the first thing. I mean, we're making our way to the Sire session because that recording happened way before the Party Boy 7-inch or any of that, right?
Yeah. You know, we were offered a deal on Epic. Our manager turned it down. We're always, you know, we had Jerry Schoenbaum, who was ex-president of Polydor Records. The Dead Boys had Hilly Crystal. You would think we could get signed.
Right.
But Jerry Schoenbaum got in a fight with Lenny Pizzi at Epic, and he turned down the deal. And Lenny Pizzi said, I'd never sign those fucking guys. And we went in the studio with RCA. We were bouncing around. So we did a single with Jim Reynolds, who has Jim Baco, which is also the fabulous Left for Dead Records, which is what we are on now. Mm-hmm. Jim Reynolds approached us, and with Wayne Kramer had just gotten out of prison. we were hanging out with him, having so much fun. He taught me, like, when he saw me playing drums, I was holding my sticks like this. And he like told me, don't you ever hold your sticks like that. Hold it like this. You know, he taught me how to hold my sticks and hit hard. Right. So we did Party Boy. Unfortunately, they tried to make it into like some sort of dance thing. It has Don't Let the Band Stop Playing on the flip side, which is a Jeff Buckland song, which is also on the extra CD that we sent out this time. But yeah, we did that with Wayne. You know, it's one of those things. When you go in the studio, I'm sure you felt this too. Sometimes it just clicks, sometimes it don't click, you know, and sometimes things just work right. And especially back in the day, they used to do so much where you lay down the bass and the drums and then you layer it and then you do this. I couldn't play like that. You put a headphones and a click track in my ear like they did in RCA studios, and I couldn't play. Right. You know, and that's what's different with the Sire sessions. It's Ed Stasium where you just rock out, you know, live 8-track.
Yeah,
you know,
we're definitely we're making our way to that. But the Sire sessions were recorded before before Party Boy.
No, Party Boy. Oh yeah, you know what? It must have been. You're right, because Party Boy must have been like 80 or something. You're right.
So how did, as we're sort of making our way,
you're 100% right.
How did the Sire sessions come about? Like, Seymour Stein from Sire had some interest and put you guys in the studio.
Yeah.
Like, what did that look like?
We loved Dwayne Eddy. He had just released the Dwayne Eddy, anthology. So he would actually come down, and you know, he was a really friendly, approachable guy that loved music. Like this, you know, especially like in your film when they're talking about the cocaine and the limousines. You know, Seymour Stein was a guy who just loved music. And he would sign the Ramones, and he would come to see you just to hear you play Dwayne Eddy and talk about it. So we knew Ed Stasium, Tommy the guitars. You know, he worked in the studios. He worked in Media Sound, where, you know, and I think he worked in Power Station too. The main studios in town where all the rock bands were recording. And so Ed Stasium built a studio in the basement of Sire Records. And
well, let's stop on Ed Stasium a second. For those that may not know, Ed Stasium produced Ramones early on, and of course, in our world, we know that Ed Stasium produced Biohazard, State of the World Address, and I was there for all that, and I consider Ed a friend, and so Ed did Living Color too later on.
Yeah.
Ed's done a lot, man.
He did Midnight Train to Georgia. He was the engineer of Midnight with Gladys Knight and the Pips. Can you imagine having that in the back of your brain, what that session was like? Wow. Just think about that. And then the Talking Heads record, I think it was being produced by Tony Bon Jovi, I think, or somebody. Ed was the engineer, and I'm sure it has the Ed sound. What Ed gets when he records you, he gets a live sound that sounds like your amps are all good and your guitars are in tune and you never played better. He just gets it perfect.
That's great.
And so the first Talking Heads record, he's remixing all the Ramones now and doing the Sony Atmos stuff, which he tells me sounds incredible. I've never heard Sony Atmos, but.
So Sire Records built an 8-track studio in the basement of the building?
Yeah, they built it. They're in there.
I'm assuming that's where some of those Ramones records were recorded.
No, they didn't do anything there. When we went in, Ed had just finished Rock and Roll High School. He was playing us like stuff from Rock and Roll High School in there. We're like, oh man, this is great. But it was really a studio, because recording studios in those days were $250 an hour. So, you know, people say, why didn't you have more recordings? Well, you know, I mean, the Rouser Clubhouse was $200 a month. You know, mine was $185. I made I was making more than anybody on the scene at like $360. so $250. It was so out of like you couldn't get in. And when you walked in the studio, it's not like Sam Phillips where you just played your set. You'd walk in and say, okay, load in at 9. You'd go into like Media Sound, and then you'd have to set up, and then they have to get the drum sound. Then they're going to record the bass and the drums with it's like, by the time you got like one track done, like we went into RCA Studios, man, oh God, I sucked so bad. I'm still ashamed.
It was a different world. I mean, today, you know, people record albums on a friggin' laptop, and and make movies on this thing. And back then, you know, you really had to have some like a backer to go into a recording studio and make a movie. Forget about it. You know, it was near impossible to make a film back then. You'd have to buy the film, shoot the film, develop the film, transfer the film. This stuff was expensive.
$1,000 a minute, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but you know, even Bruce Springsteen, when he did The River, he did it at Power Station with Bob Clearmountain.
Yeah, I remember that.
And when he left, because he had to front a lot of it, he only had like $33,000 left to his name.
Yeah,
because he spent all, like, this is Bruce. So
I remember that record went way over. That and it's also a double record. That record went. It's sort of legendary, and Springsteen went all in on that record, and it kind of worked out, you know. It
did. I know Bob Clearmountain because, you know, Ramona from the Coma Teens and Tommy were friends with Bob Clearmountain, and he finally quit the session because he's like, I can't come in there every night. He has a new song, so he just did whatever that Hungry Heart and stuff. But if you look at there's a thing on Netflix of him recording that record. I think it's called The Letter, and it's recorded with Bob Clearmountain, I think, live in his house. And it's so like he just going, okay, we're gonna do this, and they're doing it in 3 takes. And I never was comfortable with his I mean, of course, there's great records and everything, but they sound like studio records. The Letter, Message to You, about last one standing, about being the last guy in the band. Those songs sound so good, and his drummer, whatever his drummer's name is, who I always kind of never took seriously, sounds friggin' fabulous because they're playing live. You look at each other and you connect. You can't just do bass and drums with a click track, and that's. You know. Well,
that's why you have some people that feel like Nebraska is Bruce Springsteen's greatest record. You know, that's sort of. But you know, that said, so you know what? Let me. I got to take a sponsor break. Let me take a sponsor break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about sort of the twisting road that the '79 Sire session took, and how it eventually comes out in 2025. So I'll see you back here in a couple minutes.
Okay, sounds good, man.
All right. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, episode 399. Our guest is Jerid O'Connell from the Rousers. We're going deep. We're getting weird. And now a word from our sponsors. Since 1992, Generation Records has been a mainstay of the New York metropolitan area music scene. Today, they offer a diverse selection of new and used rock, jazz, indie, hip-hop, punk, hardcore, metal, blues, soundtrack, and reggae LPs, as well as t-shirts, posters, and other merchandise. They buy used record collections and music memorabilia and will pay you top dollar for them. House calls made for large collections in the tri-state area. Call or email generationrecords@gmail.com and follow them on Facebook and Instagram.
Will that be cash or in debt?
Do you mean debit?
Yes. Sorry. Another eternally satisfied customer.
Yo, what's happening? I'm out here at one of our all-ages Sunday matinees on the Bowery. I hope that you are enjoying today's show. I just want to let you know that the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live needs your support. Please step up. There is a Patreon page that has a lot of unique program. Shows are announced there first. Lots of good stuff. There's a PayPal address right there on the screen if you want to make a contribution. There's also a super chat function. You could do that. But the bottom line is this show exists because of your support. We're going to be doing it for a long, long time. Thank you for all your support through the years. Back to the show.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control. Open your eyes, put down the phone. Conditioned by misinformation, it's just the media telling us lies. Decipher fiction from the truth, society's slow and tragic demise. Open your eyes, you're losing control.
And we're back. What are you doing, Lori?
Hi.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm drawing. I'm making a little sticker for myself. Oh, excuse me. Let me just take these off.
Busted.
Yes.
I don't know who remembers the time that Sid the Kid fell asleep and we put him on the air and he was there sleeping.
Yes, you just caught me with my seeing eyeglasses. My old lady glasses. Yes.
This
show was great.
Yeah, I knew. I told you.
Fantastic.
You know, it's a bummer that happened on the San Francisco trip. I lost my hearing aids.
Ugh. Those things are freaking expensive.
No shit, man. I just somehow when the bullets were flying, at the bear parade, I somehow or whatever.
Probably was at the bear parade.
Sucks, man.
Probably was. Yeah.
Fuck,
I'm
just gonna be deaf. I don't give a shit anymore. Listen, this is the deal. If you're gonna speak to me, get right in front of me, look right at me, make sure I can see your mouth, and talk very loud. Other than that, don't bother me with your bullshit.
Yeah, and make sure you have a pack of gum.
Hey, let's talk about some upcoming shows. Yes, this Sunday is the 400th episode with our old friend and cohort, Brian Baker, of Bad Religion, Minor Threat, Dag Nasty, Junkyard, Beach Rats, and Fake Names. He's got a new book out called The Road. So everybody, the big banger is this Sunday. Come on through. A week after that, Dave Ingram from Benediction and Bolt Thrower, co-hosted by Joel Gustin, although Joel told me David reached out to him and told him he's on a plane and he's not landing till 1:30 and da-da-da-da. And I said, you know what? Let's just roll with it. He's like, we don't want to have another Jack Grisham situation if it's delayed. And I'm like, you know what? If it gets delayed, you and me will just bullshit for the show. It's fine. Wednesday, November 12th. This will be very cool. Steve Wynn of the Dream Syndicate, a Side Trips episode. They have Medicine Show is a 40th anniversary. Then we're getting back into some heaviness with Chris Reifert from Autopsy, Death, and Abscess. It's like the trifecta of death. Autopsy, Death, and Abscess.
I know. Where's Black Metal Guy today?
I mean,
Where is he?
Yeah, I mean, those are three great names if you're playing that kind of music.
Yeah.
Dr. Chud, co-hosted by Joel on November 23rd. That's the Encyclopedia of Jerry Garcia Music Venues, Harry G. Angus. I'm excited about this one. I hope that you are too. Another Side Trips episode. And then co-hosted by Lori Dawn herself, John Bush from Armored Saint.
Can't wait.
One of the good guys.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
Then Wednesday, December 10th, Peter Bywaters of Peter and the Test Tube Babies. John Gallagher from Raven. Joel's co-hosting a lot of these shows.
I know. I'm a little jealous.
Maybe I'm getting pushed out.
I know. Who knows?
But you are co-hosting.
Oh, there we go.
One. Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
Candace is getting ready. She'll be getting ready to go on one of her adventures again. She does these like adventure retreats where they hike and they do yoga, and it's a lot of fun.
It's like my worst nightmare, like hiking, yoga, like Jesus.
In the tropics.
It's like the choice is yours. Either you're going to go swimming in the water off Cape Cod or you're going to go hiking and do yoga. I'm like, wow.
Well, would you rather get bitten by a shark's eye or a mosquito?
Honestly, mosquito. I don't want. I
just go out with malaria.
A bear.
What kind?
A shark or a bear? Drew, you could do an eight. It's funny you should say that, LaRoche. It's very funny because I was thinking about doing an Ace Frehley sort of tribute show. So yeah, if Dave bags out or if something happens, I'm kind of I was thinking about doing an Ace Frehley thing, but but I'm not sure like who to bring in on that really.
Gosh, probably I mean, who didn't he influence? There's so many people that was like their gateway bands.
Yep. Absolutely. Hey, just to mention to everybody, Please support the show on Patreon. It's very easy now. All you have to do is take out your communication device and scan that thing, and it brings you right to the Patreon page. Yo, for as little as $2 a month, you can be a part of our community within the community. This show needs your support. What can I tell you? You know, there it is. If you, because I don't know how to do this scanning thing myself, really. I make my
You just
wife.
hold up your camera.
What's that?
You just hold up your camera to it.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, Gramps.
Get off my lawn.
Exactly.
Get off my lawn. So there you go. I want to welcome and thank our latest patron, Andrew Wakeman. Thank you, Andrew Wakeman, for being a part of our journey here on the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. So, you know, appreciate it. And everybody else, get with the program, please. Show needs your support. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Like, come set up in your living room? Like, what do I got to do? But
pretty much, yeah. That's what you got to do. Hey, listen, if you got paid enough.
If I got paid enough, what? Oh, I'd set up in your living room?
It was like, hey, I want you to film the show from my living room for, you know, what would that cost be? What would you do for a Klondike bar?
You know what? How's this sound? Yo, I ain't doing the fucking show in your living room, all right? What's fucking wrong with you?
$5,000.
I still wouldn't want to do it in your living
10.
room.
10.
How about I pay you 10 just to leave me alone? You know where I do the show from? Right here. I do the show from right here. I don't leave here. That's what the show is, all right? Living room.
So if there was a nuclear blast, you would survive in that.
I think there's been a bright flash outside the window. All
Not
right.
affected, right?
Let's get on with our fantastic guest.
Yeah.
I'll see you at the next break, and we'll talk about upcoming events.
Looking forward to it.
Okay. That's right. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live. Let's bring on Mr. Jerid O'Connell of the Rousers.
There
Hey,
you
man.
go. I'll tell you a funny Ace Frehley story. When I used to work for Finn Costello, when we photograph him, we'd be photographing, they'd yell out Bill Coyne or whoever, Ace, Joan of Arc, Ace, Joan of Arc. I said, Finn, why are they always yelling Joan of Arc at Ace? I guess Joan of Arc was burned at the stake and she was looking up at the sky. It was his thing. They'd only release a photograph of him looking up like he's from a spaceship or something.
Is that right?
So, yeah, Joan of Arc, Ace. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
He must
Back in the day.
Space Ace. He influenced a lot of people, man. I mean, a lot of guests that come on the show, I almost at least half of them. Their first, if they're a guitar player, it's Ace Frehley. It's pretty incredible.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, it's unbelievable. He influenced a lot of people to pick up. Is he that good of a guitar player? Like, no, but he was. I think, from what I understand, from what I gather, it's not that he was so good. I think just he was so accessible, and his style was so accessible. And it wasn't like, you know, Steve Howe from Yes, and people were just like, what, you know. I think Ace's style. Hey, here you go. How about this? Hold on. Why was Ace Frehley such an incredible influence on so many guitar players? Put that in the chat room. What made Ace Frehley so unique and special? All right.
There you go.
That's what's good about it. That's what's good about this show.
Yeah,
I could be real lazy and be like, answer this. You know. Hey, from what I gather, right, is this Rouser shot taken on the roof of the Rousers clubhouse?
I could be corrected by Mr. Know-It-All Tommy Milmore, but I think that's the roof of the Rouser clubhouse, which is 4 St. Mark's Place. They had the top floor above Trash and Vaudeville. I was the only Rouser that didn't live there, so it costs each member like $75 or something to live at the clubhouse. Yeah, that's the clubhouse.
And so you guys lived right. You didn't live there.
No. But
that was like I'm looking for a picture of the Trash and Vaudeville building.
Yeah, which was the widow of Alexander Hamilton's wife, Eliza. That's where she lived. That was her house before.
Is
the
that
Rousers.
right?
Yeah, even farther back than the Rousers, there was Eliza Hamilton living in there. And then, of course, the neighborhood must have gone downhill because it became trash and vaudeville and the Rousers. Yeah, Eliza Hamilton lived there. And now the crazy thing is a 1-bedroom apartment in that building, and it's not a great looking 1-bedroom. It's like, this place sucks, is $5,200. So the top floor was $200. So that kind of gives you an idea what creates a scene. You got to have it that.
Here's 1982, and this is the building right there. Yeah.
Let me zoom in there, man. Oh, there you go. That's there it is, man. Just hang out on that right there where the person's standing. That's the stairs go up in the very top floor. But it was wonderful,
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. To make a scene, you got to have a place where the Cramps can afford, because they're not getting jobs anywhere. The Dead Boys. What do you think? Cheetah Chrome's getting a job? No. So you got to have places where anyone can afford it, and anyone could afford living in New York City.
And speaking of trash and vaudeville,
there it is.
His soul. There he is, Jimmy.
There
Webb.
he is, Jimmy Webb. Jimmy Webb, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a beloved figure. He knew how to sell clothes in that place too.
Yeah, he's a master. He's incredible.
Yeah, he would tell women, like, this is what you should have, buy this. And like they would.
I know.
Here it is at night back then.
Oh man, yeah, that's old. That's where we'd go. We'd leave Max's at 2:00 in the morning on a snowy night. We get a checker cab. We tell the guy we got a couple of boxes. He'd pull up the trunk and we'd fill up with the drums, a full bass kit, the bass amp, all the guitars, all 5 Rousers. Snowy night, 2:00 in the morning. That's where we would head and have to move it all the way up to the top floor. But we used to move all the equipment in a checker cab in those days.
And then here's the next generation, which is some of my early hardcore friends. This is like 1980, hanging out on that stoop in 1981. There's Rebecca Corbett. There's James Contra from Virus.
Nice.
Yeah. So we used to hang out on, right. That's when St. Mark's was. St. Mark's was the spot. As far as Ace Frehley goes, Ace Frehley had personality.
Okay. That makes sense.
The visual of a superhero and a rock star. Plus, he was good, but not a virtuoso. So you can imagine being him. Okay. Yep. Kiss wasn't punk, but Ace was a punk rocker. Okay. He had a great look. I could play what he did. And there was something so real about him. My hero in the 70s.
Nice.
So how does something like this get rediscovered all these years later? What's the timeline? How did the Sire Session see the light of day in 2025?
Basically 1 year ago. I mean, everybody from the scene is still on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So Philippe had been posting, this record here, on Left 4 Dead Records, what's he call it? All killer, no filler.
The Sender?
Yeah, the Senders. Yeah, the Senders. So I saw that, and Philippe's putting it out, and I get it.
And when you say Philippe, is that Philippe at Left 4 Dead Records?
No, I'm sorry, Philippe. What's it, McCade or something? The lead singer of the Senders.
Okay.
Who basically was everyone's friend, but the Senders were one of the hottest bands. They were so great.
Sure.
They also didn't get signed. They were our roommates. And Philippe wrote a book, Punk Avenue. Did you ever read Punk Avenue?
No, I haven't.
Dude, just read Punk Avenue. It's so good. It's
I'll
it's right
check
up
it
there
out.
right up there with Please Kill Me. But he tells the story of hanging with Nancy Spungen and all this. He tells the stories because he was friends with everybody. Everyone loved Philippe.
Philippe Marcade.
Marcade, yeah. Thank you.
Got it. Thank you, Chris.
So he started posting, hey, my record's coming out, man. My record's coming out. And I see it. And I ordered, of course, because I finally can hear, when I die, I'll be a ghost. My baby glows in the dark. These are songs that I never thought, man. They were good. Right?
Yeah.
And they have and Johnny Thunders was one of his best friends. And Johnny Thunders is on a lot of the tracks. Wow. And it was so beautiful. I said, man, how did Philippe get this thing done, man? He's living over in, I don't know where the hell he was. And then all of a sudden this record came out, the Comatine shows up. All of a sudden Ramona starts posting, and this beautiful orange disc shows up. And I go, what the hell? Everyone's getting, all my bands are getting out. So I called up Ramona from the Comatines. And I go, oh, man, I loved your record. This is so great. It's make me feel, because that stuff's lost. That stuff's lost in your life,
Sure.
Just when we get off, just play When I Die, I'll Be a Ghost, and know that Philippe now is a ghost. He passed away. And it's just so friggin' rock and roll. But I blasted it, and she said, oh, that's Jim Reynolds, who had Jim Bacco Records, who did your single. I go, that's Jim? And she said, oh, I'm sure he'd like to, put something out of the Rousers. And I go, no, this can't happen. This ain't happening because there's nothing. I said, the only thing I even know of, we had tapes from this, but, you have cassettes that are all dead.
Sure.
I said, the Ed Stasium session would be great. And I don't know how it led this, but somehow I found out that Seymour Stein, when he died, the president of Sire Records, had donated a ton of stuff to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Right.
I called somehow, I don't know how, I was the one that found it. I called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They said, there's a tape here in our archive that says Rousers. I go, no way. Can you send me a picture of it? And I send the picture to Tommy and says, this is a master. What is this? Because who knows what it is? And who knows if someone taped over it? So then I say, can I get that transfer? I'm talking to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And it's so nice. We all make fun of them. I no longer, this is my vow. I will never make fun of them again.
They did right by you.
Yeah, I no longer make fun of them, even though Laura Nero came in before, the MC5. I have no problem with that. Laura Nero is totally punk.
Or Motorhead.
Yeah, or Motorhead.
The fact that Missy Elliott's in a Motorhead isn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we forgive them. So I said, can you transfer it? And they said, what's the name of the Preservation Technologies? They have a place for anyone that has tapes. This is something that's really important. Preservation Technologies in Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. They do everything for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but anyone. So they're very reasonable. They're really nice. They have every tape deck, video, and stuff that exists. And they said, we have to send it on because Ed Stasium wanted it sent to his place. And they said, no, we can't risk the Rouser master tape from our collection. It's like, what do you want? Eddie Van Halen's guitar too, buddy? So I had to sign these things.
How did they know, you're calling out of the blue? How did they,
did
you have to sort of, this is who I am. I'm the drummer.
Yes, I just signed stuff, and I wasn't going to violate copyright things, and I would take full responsibility when they got sued. When Johnny the Rouser sues them for releasing it, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I can handle that. I can handle the cost of transfer. Yep. So they transfer it, and they have to transfer it their place. And Ed Stasium's he has this place on the West Coast. So they transfer it. And I get the bill. And it's only I don't know. It's they have to bake it in an oven to get the deoxidize it. So it's it's in there. The batch of cookies or whatever.
What was it? A 1/4-inch mix down?
I think it's a 1/4-inch or a 1/2-inch master, maybe a 1/2-inch master. And it's definitely not 1 inch. It's like a 1/2-inch master.
Yeah.
And then I get the bill.
But it is the mix down. It wasn't the.
No, it's the master. It's the actual master, all 8 tracks separate.
Right.
And they have to make it to Pro Tools. So I get the bill and it says, okay, it's like $320 plus $132 for mold removal. And I'm going, mold. I figure there's no way this thing is anything worth listening to. Because, you listen to old cassettes, you go, wah, wah.
Mold. As soon as I saw mold removal, I was skeptical.
I was skeptical that I was that we were going to be there with the Senders and the Comatines on Left for Dead Records.
Sure.
Because that's the only thing we had. I called up Ed Stasium, who had just finished mixing Tim for the Replacements, which I was in love with. I'd been listening nonstop to, and I hadn't spoken to him in 40 years. And I called
Ed Stasium's he's accessible.
He's accessible.
I texted him this morning and he wanted me to say hello. So
God.
I texted him this morning and told him you were coming on the show.
That's so good.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a beautiful human being. I think, gets the most authentic sound in recording. He's my favorite. And I listen to stuff, okay, Bob Clearmountain did a great job on Rocks and Music, whatever. But so I send it, I call him up and say, hey, Mr. Stasium, sir, this is the drummer of the Rousers. It's been 45 years. Do you remember the band? He pulled the cassette. He says, I have your cassette right here from the session. I have no idea. I said, you're kidding me. And he texts me the picture of the Sire tape and says, yeah, I have it. It's one of my favorites. I don't know why. Believe me, they put me to shame. What do you have from 40 years ago? Do you have anything? Nothing. Do you have a shirt or a pair of socks from 45 years ago?
I've got a couple weird things, but that's what makes Ed Stasium who he is. The guy is,
He is.
Yeah, he's a special character.
Yeah, and I was saying, oh my God, I'm talking to the Rousers. I'm trying to reach out to them. I haven't reached out to them in 45 years. And it's always a little kind of weird.
Yeah.
Especially since the last time I saw them, they kicked me out of the band. So
Yeah, right.
perhaps it was a little bit more than weird. Like, hello, my dear brother motherfuckers.
Hey, remember me? You kicked me out of the band, but hey, let's release the stuff that I played on.
Let's release something when we were all together and we felt the love of the Twang brothers.
Yeah.
And they all were like, yeah, great. But I didn't know what it's going to sound like. Ed listened to it, says it's totally fine. And he was in the middle of doing all the Ramones stuff, and I couldn't afford, or Left 4 Dead Records or whoever couldn't afford to have mixed the whole thing. So he said, I'll do Bumblebee, a special friends and family rate, which was a ridiculously wonderful thing. Yeah, I had to wait like 3 months before he got around to it. And Bob Stadler from whatever I should know this, mixed the rest of it and did an incredible job. Billy went out to this beautiful studio and Bob did an incredible job. I should really remember his name, which is terrible. But Ed did it, and
Bob Stander.
Yeah, does it say the name of the label? Does it say the name of the studio?
Yeah, Parcheesi Studio.
Yeah, Parcheesi Studios. Okay, so I'm off the hook
Bumblebee
there.
Rock mixed by Ed Stasium.
Mixed by so he mixed it.
Original Sire demo engineered by Ed Stasium.
Engineered by Ed Stasium.
Dedicated to Peter Crowley.
Oh yes, thanks for pointing that out. Yes, dedicated to Peter Crowley, the booking agent, the man who doesn't get the respect. White vinyl, man.
And
do you know
really nice,
White's the real
nice job on the interior, on the sleeve.
That's my photo. I'm very proud of that photo.
Yeah.
And do you know that vinyl is actually dyed black? It actually is. What you're seeing there is like the pure stuff. This is like organic.
Is that right? This is the true color of vinyl?
I couldn't say that 100% sure, but vinyl is black because there's dye in it. So I think that's
Is this all your memorabilia?
Yeah. When Johnny, the bass player, went to Austin, he called me up. He was living in town nearby. Says, "Yeah, Jerid, I got the Rouser archive." I go, "Oh, good for you, man. Take it to Austin." He said, "No, you got to have it." So okay. So it was laying in my closet, and I wanted to do an image that told the story. I mean, that's my background is photography and stuff like that. So I was like, I rented a lens down at Milford Photo, and for 2 days just took the clippings out and put it all together. And
you did a great job. But you have a bit of a background doing this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, this is my world. I had a company that did retouching, and photography and stuff. And I went to school for photography. So, but believe me, that took me like 2 days with the dappled light. I went natural light, and it has all. When you look in there, you'll see bands you won't believe are in there. It's like.
And another thing that was really helpful in me doing the show, the liner notes by Tim Stegall. From Ugly Things magazine, the liner notes were very helpful in the research, in me doing my homework.
Great.
And putting together my notes that I just pretty much don't even look at during the show anyway. But it was very helpful. But so it moves forward. Go on.
It moves forward. Next thing you know, this is 45 years ago. This is the freaking Rousers, and all of a sudden it's coming together like sparkling. I play it and it sounds so friggin' good, and you don't know what you're gonna. My tastes have changed, I guess. Actually, probably have not changed one bit, but I don't know if I'm gonna like the Rousers. I'm gonna listen to stuff like, oh, what the hell? And I remember, like, when you listen to your tape at the time, there's always like a lot of criticism, like, what's gonna happen? You don't like this, that. I wish that happened. There's also a lot of great songs that came after that, which is kind of sad they're not there. Right. But I listened to it. It's like, my God, it's the Ed Stasium mix. Stasium record you. Like, you listen to that first Talking Heads record, and it's perfect. I mean, those guys, I'm not saying they can't play. They play very well. But, I mean, they sound like just so perfectly live what you want to sound like on a perfect night. And Stasium gets it every time. So it came together, Jim Reynolds from Left 4 Dead Records. Did I say Left 4 Dead Records enough times?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's good.
And, we started working on the project together, talking to the Rousers and trying to get it together because you got to get publishing, you got to do all this stuff. It took almost a year and it just came out. I thought it was out last week, but I just looked on the Left 4 Dead Records website and says releasing on the 30th. But you got one before me. I don't even have one. So
it was delivered. My doorman told me, "Hey, you got a package," and it showed up, and yeah, it's fantastic.
You got more.
Actually, you know who hooked us? I think you know who hooked us up is Howard, the PR guy.
Yeah, Howard. Right.
Yeah, he's the one that made the introduction. Howard Wolfing, Amy's husband. Yeah.
He's incredible.
Fantastic. Yeah,
he's on top of his game. He's like, he knows everybody and everything, and just got us into it.
Question from Robert Hogg: will the record have a UK release?
I don't know how that even works. I mean, that would be something for Jim Reynolds at Left 4 Dead Records. He told me that is a Japanese distributor said, "Oh man," took one look at that and said, "We need a bunch of copies for Japan." I was like, "Okay, we got that."
Think?
So
We need a
sure. The other day you said to me, "How come they don't play?" I go, "Oh Jesus, dude! Wait, you think everyone's gonna look at that cover? Then we get up on stage? It's like to be sad."
What's going to happen now? I'm going to write the next chapters. Like the record's going to be released in Japan and they're going to go nuts over it. And there's going to be some crazy offer for you guys to play some like rockabilly fest thing in Japan. And you're going to have to pull it together and go over there and play.
That's after you said that to me, I was like, oh man, I was talking to, Dennis Young from Liquid to Liquid. Liquid was a band in the 80s.
Oh, I know Liquid. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was talking to him and they got their band back together. They're from the same time as us. They got their band back in the 2000s. And he said that he toured Japan. I said, no, I could never commit to like what it would take to get the band together. He says, dude, we played Japan a week with the guys. I said, okay, I could do that. So yeah, if the offer comes through this, Drew, you're going to come you're coming with us.
Hey, I'll tour manage.
You'll tour manage, and we'll go out there. He said they came up to him and they were such cute boys. Liquid was really cute boys. I'm not saying that, Dennis isn't cute now, but he said they were coming up to him with the independent records and asking him to sign them and stuff.
Yeah. That's why Japan's on point.
Yeah. When I was in Japan last year, I'd always heard about the Rockabilly Kids. I was walking by this park. I was going to try to figure out if it still existed. I heard Rockabilly playing. I said, I can't be this lucky. In Japan, I'm at the right place. I go through this little path in the woods, and there's a circle there, and there's all these kids dressed up in rockabilly. Of course, the Japanese are the most beautiful people on the earth.
Are you talking about in that park where they all dance and stuff?
They all dance. I walked in by accident. I was walking by that here.
They all do that whole,
They do that whole thing.
Yeah,
and I went run up like, holy God. And they actually told me to get back. I was like, no, I'm your grandfather.
Every one of those guys and gals are going to buy this record. Everyone. I've seen that footage of them so many times. It comes up on my feed. I actually recognize about 10 of them now.
Yeah, they take it seriously. They dance really good, man.
They do. They have their own kind of unique thing. Hey, by the way, have you seen your hardcore trading card?
No. Oh, what?
There you go.
What?
Hardcore trading card. That's the front of it.
Man,
the back was really good. It was really helpful.
Dude, I'll trade you a Thurman Munson for that if you will.
You watching, Josh? The back was really bands performed with Step and Fetch It, Billy Universe, and the Satellites, the Rousers. Yeah, it was really.
What's the first? What I can't read. What's personal trivia? Anything embarrassing? I hope so.
Jerid was drummer in the early part of his life, but he spent many years after that working on photography and photo editing. He went to the School of Visual Arts because many members of the New York Dolls had gone there.
They didn't actually go there though.
It was in college that he got into photography and started working on dye transfer printing and retouching long before any sort of digital photo editing. In 2001, he started Fuel Digital, a photo
Yeah.
retouching studio, and continued in that field until he retired.
Yeah, until he retired. Nice.
Pretty cool.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
beyond, dude. Oh my God.
Oh, he says, I'm the guy that messaged you on Facebook last week.
Oh, okay.
It's Josh. It's our.
Oh,
it's our-
yeah.
yeah.
I know someone was asking me what bands I was in. It's like, okay. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a great thing is everyone, you know, if everyone wants to, anyone that listens to a record that wants to find me, I mean, just stop over, you know, 11 Headley Farms Road, just come by. But I'm on Facebook.
Yeah.
My email is my name, Jerid O'Connell at Gmail. But I love, like, he reached out. I didn't know what he was asking about, but I didn't know he was making a hard rock playing card. I need that.
Are you this IG page? Do you run the Rousers Instagram page?
No, I think maybe Billy does. I don't know.
Yeah, because there is a Rousers Instagram at the Rousers NYC.
Oh, so it's because there is the Dutch Rousers. We had to like threaten to sue them a few times. We had to like get ugly with them, you know.
We're the real Rousers.
Oh yeah, if those Dutch Rousers come to New York, they would have been like, dude, they've been in the same cell with like Jeffrey Epstein. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, book Battle of the Bands, the Rousers versus the Rousers. So you mentioned so the the record's out, finally reached the promised land. You mentioned you left the band or in the early 80s. So and they went on for many years without you, correct?
Yeah, they went on many years without me. You know, the strangest of band dynamics. I'm sure you've had a few situations.
Oh yeah, I got tossed out of my first band. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, you know, these are, you know,
Yep.
I mean, I hope they're listening and they can see the tears in my eyes because, you know, it still hurts.
Yeah.
Not really, because the one thing is I was very much aware that the financials of being in a band, because even Tommy the other day said, man, if that record had come out, if we'd taken the Epic thing, life would have been so different. It's like, I'm thinking, yeah, I'd be in the back of a van still, you know, because people talked back in those, people don't realize we had Bert Padell, the biggest manager.
Bert Padell?
Yeah.
I remember Bert. Yeah. Sure.
He had Talking Heads, he had Blondie, and Blondie went broke and but he would explain to us like, okay, you get $1 a unit. So you sell 1 million. So it takes you 3 years to make the record. So you get $1 million. Now what are you going to do? Split that 5 ways? You got 200 grand. And it's not really, the upfront $1 million is not money. It's credit against sales and stuff.
That's right.
So I was probably one of the few people. I don't think the Cramps were thinking like this. I don't think Cheetah Chrome was thinking like this. Like, dude, there's no money in this, you know, at some point. But it was my life for 77, 78, 79, 80, probably 81. I don't even know if 82. And then, they decided to kick me and the bass player out, Johnny. And so I immediately, it was a good thing for me. Some people say when people kick you, as long as they kick you forward, it's good. Because I went to Michigan to Top Photo Lab. Wayne Kramer, when I told him I was going to Detroit, he gave me John Sinclair's number. And Don said, Jerid, when you go, you got to make sure you're hooked up with the right guys. I wanted to tell him, like, dude, I'm going as like some serious manager of the Top Photo Lab in the country. And I went out, and back in those days, they couldn't check like who you were. So I went and said, okay, how do square managers dress? I went and I got hush puppies. I got this thing. I got my sideburns cut off. And I walked in there like, oh. And they thought my whole life was like, just like being in photographic printing, because I was doing this specialty printing called dye transfer. And they recruited me right then and there. So I moved to Michigan. And I guess it was 83 or December 82 or something like that. So, so I missed it. And, these guys kept going. And, they kept playing. I'd go see them, as I probably told you before, the night that I sold my company Fuel Digital, I was feeling totally out of it. Like I sold my baby, but if you know me, this is something I will do every 5 years. I will sell it, not my family, not literally my baby. But so I said, the place, I don't know if you ever felt like that at CB's. You just walk in and say, you just felt like, it's like your Cheers, it's like everybody knows your band, So I sold the company, signed at 5 o'clock in the morning. All of a sudden I was a wealthy young man. And I go to CB's just to like say, let me just go back where I'm comfortable, And I walk in and they charge
It's
me
like
money.
something out of the Lost Weekend. Like I'm wandering the streets. I'm
Yeah, yeah,
wandering the streets. I see
wandering
the
the streets.
neon light of CBGBs. I
I
walk
go
into
in.
CBGBs.
They don't let me in free.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they don't let me in free. I got paid the $6 or $8. They say, who's playing? They say the Rousers. I go, this is a fucking surreal day.
Are you
And
fucking
they say,
kidding me?
they come up and they say, hey, Jared, man, how's it going? What's new? And I go like, beers are on me tonight, bro. You know,
Wow.
I bought another copy of CBGB record. It was like $8. The album, that
That is
original record.
surreal. That's really surreal.
And they were playing. They're like, hey, this is going out to Jerid. This is called Party Boy. It's like, yeah, well.
Wow.
But they played. And then, you know, when they played Bowery Electric, right when COVID hit Sal, the drummer, and he died so quickly. He was such a great drummer, great human being. And, you know, like people talk about, oh, did the government overreact to stuff, this and that. Let me tell you, when Sal went like this, he was a healthy guy living in Brooklyn. He wasn't, you know, he was gone. They say he died in the hospital playing to listening to David Bowie. And, you know, I was like, oh my God. So that was the end of the Rousers. They called me up, and I mean, I guess I could have jumped back in or something. I don't know, but it wasn't time or place. So the Rousers ended with COVID killed the Rousers along with everything else. So that's one more casualty.
Never say never. One thing I've learned: never say never again. It's like I've learned that. It's don't worry, the record's coming out in Japan. Robert, yeah, there you go. Time for another Bowery Electric show. Robert Hogg in Scotland says, hi, I didn't know much about you, Jerid. You're such a great guest, and I'm loving your history. What a great story. I'll be getting the record. So,
dude,
if anybody's asked,
thank you so much. Yeah, if you need your car washed or anything, if you're ever in Westport, come over, I'll buy you lunch. Anyone that buys a record is it means so much to me. Aww. You know, it's like, I can't tell you. It's like,
that's great, man. That's awesome. And if anybody's wondering, it could be purchased, it could be got at www.leftfordeadrecords.com. And it is they did a fantastic job on it. Hey, Jerid, let me take a quick sponsor break and talk about some upcoming events, and we'll come back. We'll wrap it up. We'll take some questions from around the world. So, see you in a
wonderful,
few.
my friend. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, episode number 399. Right, Lori?
Yes, I'm paying attention. Yes. No, this is actually.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Feeding the cats?
They've been quiet. Probably
meow.
Yeah. Low blood sugar.
Feed us.
They're enjoying the sunroom.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about some upcoming events.
Sounds great.
Which I was looking at the upcoming events, and it looks like it's a lot of me, my band.
And me.
Yeah. Friday, November 7th, we're playing the Hostel City Weekender 3 in Upper Darby, PA. We're stoked to be playing with Impact Driver and our friends in Rebelmatic. Friday, November 7th, you're out on the island. Stevens band, Stevens band, the Sling Blades, are playing with the Ice Cold Killers in Marleybone at Kate's of Smithtown.
Yeah, Katie's. Yeah.
Katie's, excuse me. Not to be confused
with Kate's.
With Kate's. So it is Katie's of Smithtown.
Yes.
Next Bowery Electric Free All Ages Sunday Matinee is Sunday, November 9th, featuring the pride of Albany, New York, Brick by Brick. Also, Nate Harrison, No Weapon, Impact Driver, Faction Zero with Mark Rizzo singing, Fourth Floor Massive featuring Young Miranda on vocals.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And DJ Sid the Kid as well. We're going to be up in Wallingford, the jewel of Connecticut, Wallingford, Cherry Street Station, Concrete Ties, ID, Glorious Wounds, Cooked Alive, and Eucharist. And then
the body of Christ.
Is that what that is? The body of Christ?
Yes.
Listen, what are we going to name the band? How about
Eucharist.
The Body of Christ?
Yeah.
Eucharist. Okay.
There you go.
All right. I like they describe like Icarus, Connecticut, PA melodic hardcore, Cooked Alive, Fall River hardcore death thrash metal. That's covering a lot.
Yeah.
Glorious Wounds, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut melodic hardcore. Incendiary Device,
Just
New York hardcore. Listen,
it's a genre.
New York hardcore. That's what you get. You want to get any of this other shit, that you come to the wrong place. And then, of course, tell us about what's going on here.
Yes, it's our third annual coat drive, Women of the Pit. So we'll be collecting coats for local shelters, and we're hopefully gonna actually run some over to either Tompkins Park or some one of those parks. But yeah, so we're collecting coats, and it'll be a night of music and charity with World of Chaos, Serial Poets, Tree, Butterbrain, and My War. Some new songs. You're working on some new songs now, right?
We were rehearsing last night, and it was absolute agony. Being that we were totally fried from the San Francisco trip, to have to stand there for 3 hours trying to learn new songs. I think I'd rather go swimming in Rhode Island. But but it was fine. We're doing some new songs. We got new people coming in, and so it's gonna be great. And you know what? Somebody who shall remain nameless told me their wife was at Costco the other day buying some coats to donate at the coat drive.
Yeah, I think I know who that is, and I'll be there too. They have some really good coats there, very good quality for like $45.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so I'll probably pick up a couple of coats as well because I donated all of mine already.
If you got questions for our guests, post them as we're moving along here. Then this was just announced the other day, Sunday, January 18th, free all ages Sunday matinee at the Bowery Electric with Sworn Enemy, Brass Knuckle Brigade, Nailed to the Cross, Deadshot, and Fracture. So all that is going down. And then
that's in memory of Brian.
Believe it or not, ID's playing with Tree again up in Albany on Saturday, January 31st, and the next day we will be playing the much lauded Snapper McGee's in Kingston, New York, with Brutality, RBNX, Incendiary Device, Faded Line, and Prize Fighter. Oh, you're not even supposed to see that yet.
Whoa.
But you know what? There you go. Incendiary Device record release show in New York City, February 15th. With
Nice.
Silence Equals Death, Roland Coffin, Bond, and Reconstruction. That's right. I'm even giving away the album title.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, the phone's going to start buzzing. What the fuck are you doing?
Oh, well, it's out there.
Our backpack.
What happens when you show up on a Wednesday? All the secrets come out.
Yeah. Are backpacks and skateboards allowed in the Bowery Electric? Absolutely. Skateboards are especially allowed if you're going to smash somebody in the face with it. So absolutely, all backpacks and skateboards. But you know what you have to do though? You have to get past Larry Kelly at the door.
Yes.
You have to get past Larry Kelly. That's the thing.
And we would really prefer that you smash somebody in the face down the block from the Bowery.
That's right.
If you need to smash somebody in the face.
Or if you get hurt, the deal is if you get hurt at the Bowery, you're supposed to drag yourself up the stairs and crawl around the block and then
crawl down the block.
And then be hurt there.
Yes.
Do not be hurt in the Bowery Electric.
Yes.
So all right. Let's I'll see you towards
get
the end.
back to it.
Yeah. It's free to get in the show, but skateboards have to pay $17 each.
Yeah, it's for the skateboard parking.
Listen, it's for your own good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll see you in a bit.
Okay.
That's right. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by blah, 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 and She Devil's Coven. They're female-owned entrepreneur business based out of the Constitution state of Connecticut. Owner Rachel King Keys handcrafts soy wax candles set with intentions for your sanctuaries. She's accomplished a life goal dream since beauty school, debuting her artist showcase Hotties and Hellions that features live bands, burlesque, sideshow acts, vendors, food trucks, and this year live auction with all proceeds going to the mental health program Punk Rock Saves Lives. Catch her in the tri-state area doing her thing, slinging candles at events, and keep an eye out for her show coming to New York in the spring of 2026. You can find her on Etsy and on Instagram. Last but not least, 126 Hardcore Clothing is a streetwear brand for restless individuals who don't compromise. They are about being positive, spontaneous, and true to yourself. For years, they experimented with several printing methods and materials and collaborated with a large number of designers and illustrators, always giving room for fresh perspectives while retaining the hardcore attitude. Get in touch, ramp up your game at www.126clothing.com. That said, questions for our guest from the Rousers. Jerid O'Connor, post them now. Don't be shy. Let them fly. Let's bring him back on. Hey, man. And let's see what we got. This is a loaded question. Jerid, what's your most favorite memory from touring? Funny moment or just a what the hell moment? I know you guys didn't like tour per se. You kind of went out and played Boston and
I could tell you, that's the easiest one of my life. We played from the Rat. You must have gone to the Rat.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, here, I have this shot of you. I believe this is the Rousers in Boston because of what is posted in the background. Yeah.
There you go. That's us at the Rat. The Rat scene was incredible because there was a bunch of girls that would always meet you and they make sure you have a party and everyone was so friendly. But the best memory I have, you got to realize I worship the New York Dolls. We all worship the New York Dolls.
Yeah.
We'd seen them in 73. And, on New Year's Eve, 1978, going to 79, we're playing with Robert Gordon at Max's.
Oh, wow. So
we play the first set. He plays the second. We play the third. On the third set, we asked David Johansen to get up with us. You got to realize this is David Johansen. It's like Eddie says, hey, guys, what do you want to play? And we say Eddie Cochran, something else. And we play Eddie Cochran, something else. I'm banging the drums. And he turns around and gives me the okay sign because I'm playing so friggin' hard. And, of course, his drummer, Jerry Nolan, is the reason I live. Yep. And so that was the best night. I mean, there's many great nights at Max's hanging out with Sid Vicious, him teaching us rockabilly dances. There's playing with the Cramps in Dover when we all went to Friendly's ice cream shop together.
Was that the show place in Dover, New Jersey?
I just remember it's the place. Yeah, I think it was a show place. Yeah, but we went there and we all went to, and they're sitting there, the Cramps at their table. And the Cramps were the Cramps 24/7. They weren't they didn't dress up for the show. They still are. I'm sure Poison Ivy still is. And just watching the Cramps drink Fribbles at Friendly's was one of the greatest moments. And of course, I just sat there and I looked at Poison Ivy the whole show and just was like, oh my God, this band is so good. And my wife, who I'd met at the Bottom Line to Be Stiff tour, was into English bands. Well, she was just some girl at that time. She was just some girl. And she was telling me how great English bands were. And I'm thinking, oh my God, you do not know who you're talking to. I hate English bands. It was very much a rivalry. So she invites me, hey, I have tickets to the first show of the Clash at the Palladium.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, like fuck. And I said, oh, the Cramps who we just played with or whatever are there. So I'll go see the Cramps. So the Cramps come out and of course they go ba 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 and they do this thing. I'm like, yeah, that's my boys. And then the Clash come out. And let me tell you something.
Yeah.
The Clash, they were always taking swipes at New York bands. The Clash always calling us posers, always calling us dead boys, a bunch of wankers. I don't know. They had those little terms they came up with. And the Clash came out. It was the most fucking amazing hardcore slamming thing. They were throwing their guitars 25, 30 feet off stage, and they were so on it. I'd never seen anything. And that's, my wife, Linda, took me to that. And I kind of changed my tune about I love the Clash. And I'm
a big Clash fan. So I can imagine.
I went the next time, and when they played, for the London Calling, when they smashed the bass, there used to be a thing in New York. I don't know if it was during your time, where if you paid the doorman $5, they'd let you in, any club, any place. Yeah. So I slipped the guy $5, went in, and they were terrible. And then when Paul smashed his bass, I said, yeah, you suck tonight. I was shocked. They were shocked. So they were up and down. They were great at Bonds. They were great. I saw them a million times. But
I want to ask you about this. This is a Max's Kansas City strip. The Rousers is on there Thursday, May 21st. It's the Rousers, the Doids, and Madonna. Is that Madonna?
That's Madonna. She had the place next to us, the rehearsal studio. She's a Breakfast Club. I think this is the first time she played as Madonna. Third on the bill. And yeah, that's Madonna. Which, you know, if I was an A&R guy, I probably wouldn't have, she was Madonna. You know, like
do you remember? Do you remember? I mean, listen, we played with bands. A lot of times the opening band, I don't get to see the opening band because I'm trying to get ready to play myself. But do you have memories of like early Madonna? Like, yeah.
I have mostly the memories of her being in the hallway. I remember going over to her rehearsal studio and asking for an extension cord because they shut off our power. And she said to me, my band wouldn't like me lending out their equipment. I was go, oh man. And they were our next door neighbors. So you could hear them coming through the wall all the time. She was always there.
They shared the music building.
Yeah, in the music building. She had this place right next to us. And we, with the senders, and on our door, it said He-Man Woman Haters Club. And next door was Madonna. But yeah, she played there, like there was so many bands. I didn't pick her out. Do I remember that night? I seen pictures of it and I barely remember.
Sure.
But they sounded good. She was, like she was pretty. She played in the music building. They used to have people come downstairs with guitar and play, and she played down there. Just you could entertain in like the cafe or something. She did it downstairs.
Sure.
But yeah, she was. But would I have said that's the one that's going to make Seymour sign after he signed the Ramones, Talking Heads, all these the bands, Dead Boys? Madonna was the one, and she signed.
I never really thought that through. Seymour Stein signed Madonna first, and then I guess she was bought off his label, right?
No. What happened was Mark Kamens, the DJ from Peppermint Lounge or whatever it was. He was a big DJ. He had a deal to sign one band.
Right.
And the Rousers had definitely been talking to him. We have different memories of this, but I hung out with him and I was like, he said, yeah, I want to do a record with the Rouser. I can do one deal. In typical Rouser fashion, all we wanted was, we wanted just, somebody else. We didn't want some DJ. We wanted Dave Edmonds is who we wanted. Right. And he signed Madonna, which was like, oh, here he signed Madonna. And the deal was he'd have to do your record. She did one track with him. She fired him. Right. Which she fired him and hired this, I can't think of his name, this producer's like, and the next thing you know, you hear Borderline. It's the most friggin' perfect song and she's all over. And you just go like, how come I couldn't see that? How come I couldn't see that?
Hey, you have to enjoy the twisted ironies of life, right? I mean, how come I didn't see Biggie Smalls or the Beastie Boys when I worked with them?
The Beastie Boys.
I didn't see it. I mean, I just thought it was, but I like this little bit of memorabilia. Is this like a Mac? Is this your guys like getting paid from Max's?
Yeah, I sent you a bunch of stuff as like rock guy to rock guy. 'Cause I figured you'd get a kick out of it. Yeah. This is a typical contract at Max's, which is some 79 or something. Yeah. And you see like, how it gets broken down. Yeah. And it's like $285, mm-hmm. And we had 150 people. That's not bad. That's not
pretty
bad.
Good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah.
But yeah, that was.
Let's see. Let's see if we got any other questions. Guilty pleasure in music. What do you listen to? Guilty pleasure. What still resonates for you all these years later?
I try to. One great thing about releasing the Rousers is I've been on a lot of radio stations, mm-hmm. and I talk to these people, and they turn me on to all these friggin' great bands, and I keep stumbling across that there is a really dynamic scene of bands that are just as good as anything I ever saw. Mm. And what do I put on when I go on? It's way too much oldie stuff. It's way too much stuff I shouldn't claim to still be listening to, my playlist. But I still also try to find
what's oldie stuff. What's oldie stuff? Eddie Cochran. What's oldie stuff to you?
It's kind of like what I'm feeling. Right. What I have different things to pump me up. you know, there's still stuff, but I have a playlist that's from the good old days that has everybody on it, that has television, everything. I slip that on
A
with
lot
the
of the old
Dictators.
Max's bands. Yeah.
I have like a 70s New York thing, but you know, I also like when I'm a big runner, and when I'm trying to get pumped to run, I listen to Madonna. I mean, I don't know if I should be confessing that to the show,
It's
but
okay.
I listen.
If anything, this show name is a little bit of an albatross around my neck these days because we do a lot of other music too, you know. But it's
No, I was so glad because I just read a review of the Rouser record the other day, and it said they claim to be the missing link between what was it, the Dolls and the Ramones. They are none of that. They are a true power pop band. Now, to call me power pop, like that hurt. That hurt. And I was
Did
like,
it?
oh man, oh yeah. And I listened to it. I go, oh man, are we a pop band? I never thought of it because the Rousers play so hard, and we think. You listen to Tommy; he's playing like Johnny Thunders. I'm playing like Jerry Nolan. You know, we hit hard, we rock it. Bumblebee Rock was manic, crazy. So power pop is like the Knack or something. But he said they are what they really are is a power pop. I read that yesterday. I was like, oh man.
I like this little bit of newspaper which has some of the great clubs: Hurrah, Max's, Club 57, and in Irving Plaza. You played Irving Plaza, which is still there. Eric's graduation party with the Speedies, the Boyfriends, and the Rousers.
Oh, is that there? Is that there in that thing?
Yeah, right in the middle on top.
Yeah, the Speedies, man. You talk about bands that were great that no one knows about.
Yeah.
Just if you want to hear, I mean, a lot of stuff's on Spotify, which is great.
Yeah.
There's like the Speedies, Let Me Take Your Photo. They were high school kids. They'd come in, we'd play with them, and the place would be packed with young kids. And then they'd go off and the place would empty out. You go, oh man. They were I don't know how they didn't get, I mean, Let Me Take Your Photo was such a friggin' rock.
Did you ever play with that? You ever hear SVT?
No.
Yeah, that's Brian Marnell and Jack Cassidy.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. Let me find the Rousers. Where's Sire Session? Yeah. Let me see. What else? What else do we got? These are cool shots.
What do you got, man? What do you got?
Yeah. I'm just picking through. I love the Max's. All the Max's stuff is just great. There's just so much going on. Max's was a real for a while there. It had a lot of shows, man. That was buzzing the Flyers, Tish and Snooky, Cheetah Chrome, Descenders, Von Elmo. Like, jeez.
Yeah, if you look at the inside sleeve, I put a lot of my collection. Well, you know, the Rouser archive, and you'll see like every band in the world's in there. You'll see like so many friggin'
That's great. Really well done. Yep. Good.
Yeah. So that was that's the whole thing is everybody was in a band. And even if you weren't, like our girlfriends, not my girlfriends, but like became the Comatines, you know, like the Comatines, like that's you know, they're on our label mates, you know, Ramona and stuff. They decided they didn't want to just always go see the Rousers, so they started a really good band. A couple of weeks ago, you had you do that hardcore poster every week. Mm-hmm. And in September, you did one for Wench, which was Allie Gamble. Yeah, I didn't see her band card left, but Wench. But I mean, she was my favorite people to have a beer with anytime. I love her.
Yeah, Allie. She's a great artist.
She's an FIT. She was 17 years old when I knew her.
Fantastic artist. Yeah,
she's a fantastic artist, and yeah, I think she did that poster, and it's like, oh my god, she started a band. So it wasn't just the guys. It's like. And like Allie never said, oh, I'm going to play bass, start a band. I'd left for Detroit, so I never got to see Wench, which is one of the sad things. But the Comatines, next thing I know, like they're opening for the Rousers. I'm thinking, oh my God, if we have to open for the Comatines, this is going to be really a hard night for the boys.
Here is a Allie Gamble Wench flyer.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, she's so talented.
Yeah.
She's also the most fun, wonderful human being. We used to go at the Glockamore and have beers there, have Guinness beers and talk. And she was one of my favorite. They all were in FIT. But yeah, she put a band together.
Yeah.
You know, everybody did. Everybody I knew. There was nothing Drew, there was nothing else to do.
Yeah. That's what you did back then. Let me just say one more time that the Rousers 1979 Sire Session is available at www. Left for Dead Records. It's a fantastic. I really enjoyed listening to it this week. I really enjoyed having you on the show, Jerid. Is there anybody you want to thank? Is there anybody you want to shout out?
No, just you. Of course, Left for Dead Records. Can I just actually real quick, 1 second. I'm just going to tell you one thing. Our label mates on Left for Dead Records are Detention. You know Detention? Mm-hmm. The Comatines, The Senders, TMA, Rousers, and Nasty Facts. They're all on Left for Dead Records. So Jim Reynolds, I thank you for still caring about putting music out. You're one of the last real vinyl lovers after Seymour Stein and Sam Phillips. Jim Reynolds of Left for Dead Records, you will go in the Hall of Fame of here at Westport, Connecticut, at least, so.
Josh just ordered my copy, so there you go.
Oh, Josh, tell me what you think, man. Josh, send me a contact me. I want to hear what you think.
It's good twangy rock and roll.
That's what it is, man.
It's good.
I love hearing from you.
Yeah. And we're waiting for the Japan tour to be in.
You're my tour manager, and you're coming, man.
Yeah,
we're gonna hang out.
No, I don't leave the apartment anymore, bro. I just do this show and everything. No. Everything. That's not true.
You're coming to Westport to hang with me. You know that's happening.
Yeah. Well, I told my wife Rochelle about it, and next time, instead of going up to Stanford and walk the nature trail, we're gonna go the extra couple of miles to Westport. We'll come visit.
Just take the train. It's 1 hour. I pick you up.
No, we drive. I have a car. Drive.
Yeah, okay. If you want to do
we like driving.
Oh, you like it? Okay.
So you know what the problem is in New York City with take the train? You have to take the subway to get down to take the train. And we try to avoid the subway wherever possible because the subway at this point is basically a rolling homeless shelter mental institution. And I'm basically a magnet for problems on the subway. So I really try to avoid the subway at this point.
No, you and I are going to go to lunch.
Yeah.
We're going to put on some calories and we're going to walk nature. And I'm going to tell you all about the most punk rock thing in the world, which is native plants, which could be our next podcast. That's what I love, man. Native plants and nature.
Fantastic. Hey, thanks, Jerid.
Man.
Let's keep in touch no matter what. All right.
Yeah, you're my friend, buddy. Thank you so much for having me on, and let me be part of the hardcore movement and not the power pop movement.
All right.
Okay.
I'll talk to you soon.
Much love, man. Take care.
Good night.
Bye.
There you have it. Another one in the books. How about that there, Miss Dawn?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I didn't know I was coming back on. Yeah, that was awesome.
That's a cool sweatshirt.
Yeah, this is Chris, Robots Will Kill.
Yeah.
Shouting
out Alex Mitchell from Circus of Power. Thank you. That was show number 399. And this Sunday, the big banger.
Big one. Yeah.
The big one. Brian Baker's coming on.
But that was a great show. Jerid's a great guy. And one of his favorite places on earth is Cape Cod. So,
Yeah. I told you, I knew the show was going to be exactly like that. Because I was excited because I love talking about that era of Maxes and CBs and the early bands. And we don't get into that all that much on the show. Yeah. So just to hear from somebody, because a lot of those people are gone.
Yeah.
A lot of those people from that era are gone.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Pete. Thank you. It was a great show. And so thanks. I really appreciate it, Cool.
Yeah, it was a good listen, and I'm looking forward to that record. And I'm looking forward to your Japanese tour.
I just did San Francisco, and I just came home from San Francisco. I need like 2 weeks to recover.
I know.
I'm the oldest guy in my band,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's rough. It's rough, like, readjusting to the time zone and everything. For sure.
It's rough rolling with drummer Mike. He's like, doesn't sleep. and just wants to like hang out and meet everybody. Like,
Well, because he's young.
I had our hotel room window was facing the front. Every time I looked out the window, I saw drummer Mike in front of the hotel smoking and smoking the reefer and
The devil's lettuce.
and talking to some other person. Like Mike was like sort of like the gatekeeper of the hotel. Like, in order, if you come in and out of the hotel, you gotta hang out and talk to drummer Mike, you know?
Love it. He's always out there. That's awesome, though.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's talk
great
soon.
show. Okay.
I'll talk to you in a bit. Well, thanks a lot, everybody. That was a fantastic show. Certainly appreciate your support. Couldn't do what we've done for all these years without you. We're definitely going to be tearing up on the next episode this Sunday for the 400th 400 show. So thanks a lot. Until next time, do good things, and good things will come to you.
Conditioned by indoctrination, conditioned by society. You're a victim of the digital age, a 21st century casualty. Open your eyes, you're losing control.